Today we're going to talk about Sorba Thomas, because sitting here right now with a few weeks until the new championship season, I am so intrigued by what we are going to see from Sorba Thomas in a Stoke City shirt and what that could mean for the Welsh national team going forward, because quite frankly, I don't know. I watched Sorba Thomas's performances for Wales against Belgium, against Liechtenstein. Watched more from how he's played under Craig Bellamy in that Welsh team. And added to the fact that last season at club level, he played in France at Nantes, where I wasn't watching him week in, week out. He looked like an entirely different player. And I'm just wondering, is that going to be confined to international football? Has Bellamy just unlocked something special in Thomas that will be hard for Mark Robins to recreate? Or could Thomas be able to recreate that level week in, week out in the Championship? And if he does, he'll establish himself as one of the key wide attacking threats in the league. But it's not a given that that will happen, because Thomas is an interesting player profile for a number of different reasons. When you look at his career so far, he had to do it the hard way, coming up through non-league with Boreham Wood. Jumping from the National League to the Championship is an incredibly big jump, and he took to it like a duck to water in that first season at Huddersfield. He's now had 4 seasons at a much higher level, and I think it's fair to say he's had individually 2 good ones and 2 less good ones. The spell at Nantes was neither particularly standout nor a complete disaster. And we should remember that for his time in the Championship, he was playing for a Huddersfield side that dropped off massively, and then on loan at a Blackburn side as well. So I still think the jury is out when it comes to Thomas as a performer at Championship level. But what you have to say is, when someone jumps up to that extent, it's not that strange that they wouldn't become a consistent performer immediately and a star of the level. But Thomas is now 26 years of age, coming into what should be peak age for him. He's played 130 odd Championship games, so he's coming back to a level where he knows what to expect. And there's a question about where he'll play for this Stoke City side as well, because for Huddersfield, Thomas, as a wide player, played either right wing or right wing back for almost the entirety of his spell with Huddersfield. And it was from there that his almost old school style wing play, Beckham-esque crosses from the right hand side, were what brought quality and chance creation to the team. But for some reason, unlike most wingers in the current era, who generally get a chance to play inverted on the other side, cutting in onto their stronger foot and adding goal threat as well as in-swinging delivery, Thomas has almost never been tried in that position at club level. And that's why it was so notable watching him play for Wales in the last few camps, where Craig Bellamy has had the vision to play him on the left. And instead of it being the case that Thomas isn't suited to that position, he looks like he's unlocked a whole new level in a new role and in a new position. The one thing that everyone knows about Thomas that's been the case from the moment we started watching him play for Huddersfield, his set-piece delivery is absolutely exceptional. And it's such a strong weapon for any team to have. His assists at Championship level massively stand out, and that's partly because his delivery from dead ball situations has been so potent. With Stoke having Ben Wilmot, but also new signing Maxi Talavierov joining, Talavierov and Thomas feels like a combination that should provide, let's say, 5 goals for Stoke this season, based on the height and attacking prowess aerially of Talavierov and the delivery of Sorba Thomas. If I was a Stoke fan, I'd be so excited about that combination. But it wouldn't be fair to say that Thomas is just a set-piece merchant, and he has been tarred with that brush somewhat. In open play as well, Thomas is a proper creator, and he is not the speediest, and he's not 1v1, the most skillful. He's not going to dribble past 2 or 3 players, but give him a small window to put in a cross, and he will put chances on a plate for his fellow attacking players. He had 12 goal-creating actions per FBref in his last season in the Championship, and less than half of them were dead ball situations. So still creating more than half of his overall chances created from open play scenarios. So we shouldn't expect him to be in the team only for his set piece threat. One thing that's very notable watching Thomas after a year in France is that he seems to have taken a big jump up physically. He is a really impressive athlete. He is quick. He is strong, and I think all of these things are going to stand him in really good stead back in the Championship this season. Where will he play? Will he play on the left of a Stoke attack in a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1? That's a massive question, because Stoke are fairly light when it comes to right backs and right wing backs, really with just Junior Chamado in that role. So if Mark Robins is going to play with 3 centre-backs and wing-backs, it feels like Thomas will be back at right wing-back, where he's played the majority of his minutes at Championship level. But I really hope that he is earmarked for minutes on the left of the attack, so that we can see if the level that he plays for Wales could be recreated at club level, at Championship level. He really has almost never played on the left wing at club level. So right now, given that he hasn't even played a friendly yet as I record for Stoke City, I really don't know where he will play. But what gives me hope that he will have been signed with left wing in mind is that Mark Robins' assistant manager is James Rowberry, talented young Welsh coach. Obviously had a stint as Newport County manager, has been involved in the FA of Wales for many years, and was assistant manager to Craig Bellamy for a few months, and had Thomas under his tutelage, will know exactly what he should be able to bring. So Welsh football fans should be keeping a very, very close eye on this, as Thomas represents something a bit different, I think, in terms of Welsh attacking players and what they can offer. Wales fans will be hoping that Thomas can really kick on to another level, potentially playing off the left so that he's even more comfortable playing there for Wales. But there has to be a chance that Thomas's international performances are just because Bellamy has caught lightning in a bottle. And it's not always simple, as I'm sure Welsh football fans know, based on players that played well for them at international level, but not always at club level. Sometimes that electric form for Wales might just be confined to international level. That's what we're going to find out over the next few months. We'll be keeping a very close eye on Sorba Thomas for DragonSports as he takes to life at Stoke City. A 3-year deal, a long time at Stoke he's got, all being well, but we expect him to hit the ground running. What do you think about Thomas and any other Welsh players in the EFL that you want us to cover on the DragonSports YouTube channel? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you head to dragonsports.co.uk for all the best Welsh sports news with no ads.